Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Rob with BlameRobVideos, and welcome to episode 5 of our gaming podcast. Tonight, we'll be going over some strats for the new cooperative game mode that just came out for Team Fortress 2 called Man vs. Machine. Joining me tonight are some of the most notorious players from Team Player Gaming. First up, we have Smoke, who's also joined us for some of the DayZ videos, as well as you joined us for Secret World. That's right. You joined us for Secret World, right, Smoke?
How can I forget about Secret World?
Oh man, I forgot about it so fast. Like, we just played that one day and we were done. So
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about TF2 tonight. And then the other guy we have with us tonight is Vulcan. How's it going, Vulcan?
I'm good. Good
So,
beer.
You got a beer with you? Oh, good to be here.
I just don't about these notorious player stuff.
Yeah.
Notoriously drunk, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. It's just something I wrote down. So I read from a script. I actually type out these introductions and then I read them so I don't mess up or forget. But that's pretty much all I have. And then I have a nice little outline to talk about what we're going to talk about. But anyway.
So you're saying the TPG guys like to drink? Is that what you're saying, Vulcan?
A little bit.
I think a lot of the TPGs like to drink. Let's see. Vulcan's from Clutch. He's our it's our first time having you on the show as a guest. Vulcan, how long have you been playing TF2? Just so we can tell the listeners just a little bit about you.
Oh gosh. 2007, I think.
Okay, so about 5 years.
Yeah.
And most of the guys in your clan also about 5+ years.
Yeah, actually, if you remember back in the Evo days, I don't even know if you were around there. That old clan that excommunicated, a lot of those guys came with me. So
okay. No, I don't. I joined after all that stuff, so I
lucky
don't
you.
remember that. Yeah. So Vulcan is a part of Clutch. Clutch has competed in a few competitive leagues, if I remember.
We haven't in a long time, though. Most of us don't even play this anymore. We're pubbers. We're pubbies.
That's what happens, though, to a lot of players on Team Player Gaming. We get a lot of ex-competitive players, and I think that's why the skill level at TPG is so high. And, you know, to be honest, I remember you playing demo, but I don't think that's your main class, because you and all the other Clutch guys are so good at TF2 that you guys can play pretty much anything. So if you had to pick a class that you would consider your main, like if you had to pick a class or two that you would consider your main, which classes do you actually play?
Oh, soldier for sure.
Soldier?
Yeah,
roaming soldier?
Roaming soldier specifically, but I find myself pocketing on TPG a lot more.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. Learn something new every day. It's because, like I said, it's because you guys are all so good. You just play whatever you want.
It's nice when you get to play with people with mics, and I like to use my mic so that way I can talk with my medic. And if you get guys on like a Langrat or Smoke, that are vocal, then I can actually roam, and that's when I feel like I'm better player. Excuse me, better player.
So what you're saying is we got big mouths.
Exactly.
That's good though. That's what you need in TF2. None of this, no one calling out stuff, garbage. Anyway, what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about Man vs. Machine, the new co-op mode for TF2. I thought we could start by going over very quickly sort of what the new game mode is all about. Smoke, you want to give us a quick summary?
Basically what it is there's a army of machines, robots that are invading, and you have to take you have 6 of your, friends, whatever, 6 people, and you can pick whichever classes you want, and you basically have to defend against the robots, kind of, tower defense style.
Right. A lot of people, the way that I've been describing it is that it's a sort of a survival defense type game, except it's a first-person shooter with TF2. And then in this game mode, or excuse me, the way that Valve's done it for this is the enemy robots actually have a bomb, and then that bomb gets picked up by any of the enemy robots, and it eventually will go to your they'll eventually transport it to your base, and if they transport it to your base, you lose, and so you have to stop them from being...
It's kind of like capture the flag. They have like that's their flag, basically.
Exactly.
And they're trying to cap it at our base.
And then in addition to the bomb, there's also tanks that come out, and they have their own bomb inside the tank. So you got to stop the primary bomb as well as the tanks. and then you see all the different classes from TF2 as robots. And in addition to that, they have giant versions of themselves with much more hit points. They have sentry busters instead of engineers, which go after the engineer's sentry and has a huge AoE explosion and kills stuff instantly. There's money and upgrades and different difficulty levels and all kinds of stuff. And what I thought we could do today is talk about strats for each of the different classes, maybe go over each of the different classes, talk about sort of what role they have in this new game mode, and maybe some good strategies for each of the classes. Because I think, Smoke, you've been playing this pretty much nonstop ever since it came out last week, right? Yeah. And you've finished. I heard you did Man Up mode last night.
Well, we did. I guess they call it, because it was just on one of our private servers.
Yeah.
And it's called Iron Man mode, which is basically it's 3 rounds, and it's only 3 waves, but the waves are just nuts.
Okay.
And I think we did 2 of them, and then the third one we had to go, so I couldn't finish the third one. I had something to do.
Okay.
So I couldn't complete it.
But it is very difficult. Iron Man mode is difficult.
It's still really difficult. I mean, it's the same stuff as regular. It's just a lot more of them.
Okay.
The only real difficult thing is when you have, like, the giant robots come out and they have, uber medics, and it just gets crazy and nuts.
Oh, that's the other thing we're going to talk about that I have here on my notes is things that will basically kill you in this game, like the uber medics, the giant robots, the snipers, the spies, and things like that. So we'll talk about. Yeah, wait, what'd you say, Vulcan?
Spam, lots of spam. When they come out with demos and soldiers as a wave, and all of a sudden you see 20 pipes flying in your general direction, and then on top of that, they like roll around on your feet.
Exactly. That's how I play engineer in this new game mode, and whenever those like 10 or 15 soldiers drop from the cliff, all I see are rockets just coming at me, and like they usually get 1 or 2 of us on the team sometimes. But anyway, we'll get into that. And just to clarify, Smoke, Iron Man mode is different than Man Up mode, right?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Oh, it is.
There's like a normal mode, and then there's like an advanced, and then they used to call it advanced too, but they kind of changed it to Iron Man now.
I see.
And so Man Up is kind of like that. It'd be the second. So I haven't done the actual ticket stuff yet, because I haven't had people that actually want to do it or spend money in the game, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But basically, I think the way it works is, so you put your ticket down. You have to buy a ticket in order to get this, and then after each round or map, you get an item, right? So if you have just one of the single tickets, you'll get 2 random items.
I see.
Okay? And then once you go through that, you have to go through, I think, a whole set, all the maps, and then you have to go through the next part, which is the Advanced 2 or the Iron Man, and then after that, I think that's when you get the tour duty, and then you can get the special strange weapons with basically it has like robot heads, gold robot heads attached to them.
Do they have any extra game mechanics to them, or is it just a skin?
No, they're just strange weapons, but they have these like heavy heads, like gold heavy heads, like hanging off of them, that's the only way you can get them is to do the Man Up stuff.
I see. Okay, all right. I didn't know that. I thought Man Up mode was like the advanced difficulty setting. Well, I guess it is. It is advanced, and then the Iron Man mode,
but you have to pay for it though. That's the thing.
In order to get items. But you can play that. You can vote for the difficulty on a map.
You can play any server you want.
Yeah.
And vote to increase the difficulty.
Yeah.
For free.
Because I think me and my brothers played on the advanced mode, and we were getting rocked. I mean, there was only 3 of us, but we were still getting rocked because it's so different. Because on normal mode, it's like the first wave is like a bunch of melee heavies and melee scouts, but then on advanced, it's like a mix of scouts, soldiers, demo, pyro. It's like they have a good composition in there. So anyway, let's get into this. Let's talk about the different classes. We'll start sort of in order. Let's go with Scout. Smoke, have you been playing Scout?
I played Scout. Yes. Scout, basically what they're good at. Scouts are actually pretty good in this.
Really?
Scouts, yes, they are, because they what their passive ability is they have a wider radius for getting money.
Yep.
So, and they have a wider radius, and every time they get cash, they buff up.
What? I didn't know that. Wait, what are you talking about?
They get a buff every time they get cash.
What kind?
So,
like a
I was
buff?
rolling like a health buff. So I was rolling around, just collecting all the cash. I would get like 600 health.
What?
Yes, it's
insane.
insane.
So it's overheal.
It's overheal. Yeah.
How do you know how much you get? Does it depend on the cash?
There's no cap depending on how much cash is on the ground. The more cash you pick up, the bigger the buff.
So let's say there's $7 on the ground and you pick it up. Do you get 7 hit points, or we don't know?
I don't know the exchange rate of the health per cash, but all I know is in the game that basically when I played earlier Scout, basically I just told them y'all just stay back, let me get all the money. So the first thing I do is upgrade my speed to where I'm maxed out on speed, so you're just super fast. And nothing can really track you very well except for heavies. Heavies can kind of track you,
with
their soldiers
minigun.
And demos, they can't track you at all. You can just run around circles and they have no idea where you are.
Okay.
So you're just picking up picking up coins or money.
Yeah.
And then basically what you can do is you can get you can upgrade your firing speed. So like I was playing Scout, I had like second damage or second it wasn't maxed out, and I had penetration, so basically it would go through all enemies.
Yep.
And I had 15 shots that would shoot like 15 shots and like real quick.
So increase attack speed.
And then I was also using Mad Milk, which there's an upgrade for it where it actually slows targets.
Yep, I saw that.
So I was slowing targets, and then as my melee, I was using the Fan of War, which when you hit, it does mini crits.
Right, and so do you say, sorry. So Fan of War, I think when you hit someone, you can only target one person with Fan of War. Like,
correct.
The effect only lasts on one person.
So basically, what I was using that for is that when the bomb bots come out...
The sentries?
I would, for the sentries, sentry busters, I would milk them and then hit them with the fan, and they would have mini crits and be slowed, and they'd be dead before they even
get to the
so much as reach. Yeah, same thing with the big bot. Just fan.
Oh, you're cutting out, Smoke. A little bit.
Oh, did I cut out?
A little bit, but I think I heard what you
back.
said. Yeah, you're back now. You were saying you do that to the sentry busters as well as the giant robots.
As well as the giant robots, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
sense. It doesn't work with tanks.
Oh, it doesn't work with
tanks? There's nothing with tanks that you can put on them that slows them or does extra damage. Yeah. Except for crits or buff banner or anything externally.
Okay. Is that so? Vulcan, you said some of your clanmates were running. You were saying Dom was running Scout, right?
No, I watched Gimli run Scout, and he did basically what Smoke said, except he increased his move speed and maxed it, and he was running so fast that no one could hit him. I mean,
that's the first thing you do is increase your movement speed to max it out. That's what I did too.
And really, it's pretty impressive because you watch this Scout, and he's just zigzagging in between all these bots, and he's just sitting there collecting coin and not getting hurt. And at the same time, he's distracting all the other bots from, your real damage doers, your heavies and demos and NGs.
Exactly. So he's like, I get it. He's sort of the distraction.
He's actually a tank, is more like it.
Yeah.
When you get 600 health and basically you're jumping around quicker than they can track you, so they're just spinning around circles trying to shoot you, and they can't.
So the first time you described how this Scout works to me, 2 questions came to mind. Number one, is it worth investing, or should a Scout invest in bullet resistance, explosion resistance?
Nah.
No, don't need it. That's a waste of points.
Don't need it. Waste of points. I mean, you can, but I mean, like I didn't even invest in because they have a health on kill. Yeah. I didn't even invest in that because it's pointless. You pick up money, you get health.
Right. Dom is what Gimli did pretty much too. Didn't really get resist.
So. That's how I'd build him too. It'd be a complete glass cannon kind of class, except it's not glass because he's got all kinds of HP and speed. But no, I wouldn't do anything with resistances or help to kill. It'd be straight to damage. Has it got clip size, Smoke?
Yeah.
I do clip size, damage.
Clip size. I had 15 on the clip.
And do you guys get reload speed also?
Reload speed also.
Yeah, I do that with the engineer also for our frontier justice, but we'll get to engineer. What was my second question? Oh yeah, sometimes the giant soldier robot will come out with the crits. Is the scout fast enough, or does he have enough health to dodge the rocket? Because when I play, I usually get one hit shotted by the rocket, the crit rocket from the giant soldier. So the scout,
as long as it's not rapid fire, you can pretty much dodge it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What about instead of Mad Milk, would you say Bonk is a viable strategy for the scout?
No, you don't need it. I mean, if you can already run faster and dodge stuff, why do you need Bonk?
Nope. Sounds good.
I mean, you'd much rather have, because it's funny because you would take the weapons that you really wouldn't use in real TF2, in PvP TF2, or you're competitive or whatever. You take the weapons that you don't use very much, and they're really viable in
MVM
in this mode. I mean,
Vulcan was just saying that.
Yeah, I really like that about this version. It turns a lot of the weapons that if you were to use on TPG with their regs on, you'd get smoked with.
Exactly.
But in this, they become better just because of the different qualities of the game. Cool. Or differences, I should say.
Anything else about the scout that we should cover before we move on to soldier?
Pretty much it.
All right.
I'm awful at scout, and I was doing all right.
I gotta try it out. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try it out tonight if I can. Oh, actually, Smoke, are you gonna try man up mode tonight?
I want to, but I gotta get a team together.
I'm down if you want to do it before.
Sure, we just gotta get people that knows what the hell's going on.
I'm not even sure. What is man up mode?
Man up mode is the one where are you talking about the real one, dude? Where we actually pay the ticket?
We don't have to. I'm down for just doing it.
I want to.
I'm down for either. I just want to do it on advance, and I want to do Iron Man.
I have 5 tickets in my backpack, just burning a hole in it.
All right, we'll figure it out after this podcast. We'll figure it out, and hopefully we can get some good footage. Soldier. Let's talk about Soldier. So let's start with Vulcan, because Vulcan, you told me you played Soldier this weekend, right?
Yeah, and he's a damage doer, but he kind of snowball builds. He's pretty money reliant, because you start off using the regular rocket launcher. I didn't test either's, but I used the buff banner, and once you get up to where you got 12 rockets and you're reloading almost instantly and you don't got to worry about ammo, it's like shooting a machine gun with rockets. And then you're charging your buff every other time. There's times playing with cookies where we would just rotate between buff banner and critzes, and it was nothing but
just spam fest. Spam damage fest.
And then we had our heavy getting in on those buff banners too, and he's using the brass beast, and he's doing damage from distance too. So soldiers, it snowballs. Weaker at first, but very, very powerful towards the end.
And with the soldier, how do you make sure you always have ammo? There should be a dispenser by you all the time?
Absolutely. In fact, there should always be an NG, in my opinion, on your team. The dispenser's invaluable. There's just not enough ammo laying around for the amount of spam your team has to lay down. Right. You gotta have a dispenser.
Right. Smoke, anything to add about Soldier?
I like the Beggar's Bazooka.
Is that the one where you have to load it and then it unloads everything? Because
it's just so much damage, just front end damage,
and it fires all of them at once, right? So
all of them at once.
If you load 10, it's gonna fire all 10, right?
All 10, basically almost instantly. I mean, not instantly, but quicker than you would if you fire 10 just holding down the trigger.
That's pretty good.
So if you got like tanks and stuff, you load that up, hit your canteen with your crits, and just unload.
That's a nice thing about soldiers fighting tanks.
And they're just really effective against tanks with their buff banner and their rockets and just everything.
If it's later game, you should almost be shooting 12 rockets like every 5 seconds. It's insane. They should release a normal TF2 item and give it to me for regular servers. And he doesn't die easy either. I mean, you shouldn't. One game I was like 188 kills and 2 deaths. And lots of survivability. And
the only way you're gonna die is if you make a mistake.
Exactly.
Right. And so the soldier's role, from what I'm gathering, is he's a damage dealer with pretty good survivability. Pretty much sums him up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he can do that because it all depends on how you build, but our team play, we tried to run. I didn't do any resistances when I played Soldier, and that's not really true for a lot of the classes when I did play them. And that was because a lot of times you didn't have to be close, and usually bots attack the closest person.
Right.
And so you could kind of sit back, and you're really just milking it.
What are some of the first upgrades that you should be getting? So, like, let's say a new player is trying out Soldier. What would you recommend as the first couple of upgrades in order to get to that snowball where they're just incredible?
I liked reload speed, but your core build is going to be clip size and reload speed. And I also did some health per kill. That just makes you... I mean, when you face, like, waves of scouts...
Yeah.
Which that'll probably give some people some trouble, because then you have to micromanage who you're shooting at. But once you get to the point where it's 12 rockets and you reload that fast, it takes all that out of the equation, and it just becomes a spam fest. Close your eyes and shoot in a general direction. You're going to hit something.
Smoke, what would you say is your first couple upgrades as a Soldier?
I usually do clip size. This is one of the first things I can do. More rockets, but it depends on which rocket launcher I'm using also.
All right. Any last words on Soldier before we move on to Pyro?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
All right. Let's talk about Pyro. Smoke, this is one of your best classes. Why don't you start?
Yeah. Well, I have two different builds for Pyro. I have a damage build, which is just strictly damage, and then I have a utility build, which is damage build.
You're cutting out again. No.
Sorry.
It's okay. So you have a utility build, and then you have a damage dealing build and a utility build.
Yeah, and a support build.
Okay.
So my support build is basically degreaser with maximum air blast, and I try to get my speed maxed out, my ammo maxed out, and then health on kill maxed out, and then whatever else is left, damage, and then usually I just put the rest in damage.
And for that build,
what I'm doing is I'm air blasting sentry busters, keeping them away, air blasting bombs down mine shafts and stuff, keeping them away, resetting the bomb.
I see. Another
so it's
neat
pretty
trick.
pretty much just kind of helping out wherever I can. I'm not really charging in, trying to kill stuff really fast. I'm just kind of, I could do that, but I'm more trying to help out. And then my other one, my damage build, is using the Phlogistinator.
I really like that item in this mode.
Basically, I use that with... I try to get my health on kill, and then basically whatever damage I can get, my ammo up, and pretty much just wreck shop. And then whenever I either need a crit buff, or if I'm actually almost about to die, I'll just taunt and right click and get my health, and then I have crits and you go to town.
So a couple questions from my side of the camp, because I'm not familiar with some of these things. So number one, what's the Phlogistinator? And then number two, what happens when you taunt?
Okay, so it's a flamethrower that doesn't have air blast.
Okay.
So there's no air blast, but what it does is it has a little meter, kind of like a buff banner.
Yeah.
That whenever you charge it, you right click on it and it taunts, like the pyro taunt, and then what happens is it heals you to full and it gives you crits for like 5 seconds or something like that.
And 5 seconds is a long time.
For pyro, yeah.
For a pyro, yeah.
Everything's dead in this mode at the end of that 5 seconds, unless it's a special bot.
Everything's dead. Everything's dead, and I'm fully buffed because I've killed everything.
I call it the laser beam flamethrower, but I use that too, Smoke, and I did health per kill, max move speed, and then I upped my ammo, and then I upped my resistances. And I basically, if I wanted to be in the middle of the pile no matter what class it was, and the only resistance I didn't really put a whole lot into is fire. But, and then I would use that taunt, because you go invulnerable when you taunt almost, when you get buffed, when you're 70% resistant. Yeah, when you're 70% resistant to bullets and blast damage, when you taunt, you're almost going invulnerable. And then you got all these guys shooting at you, and then you got your health per kill, and you come out doing crazy damage, and your life goes right back up.
Wow.
So my whole strategy was to be in the middle of the pile.
That sounds like a lot of fun, too.
Oh, it was a blast. It reminded me of the Pyro video of how crazy psycho she or it is or whatever. But no, it was a blast, and the NG on our team actually benefited the most because it bottlenecked them all like in a circle around me, and he's just sitting there spraying his Wrangler.
Right. Quick question. You know how you can get health per kill? So let's say you light a bunch of guys on fire, but you don't actually deal the finishing blow. They were just on fire when they died. Do you get health from that death?
Just when you cause the damage, the death.
Okay, so you got to deal the finishing blow. Okay.
Yeah, because I've had that many times happen where I'm going to kill something, and I almost kill it, and then the sentry gun will kill it, and I won't get the health. And
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying the health per kill on the pyro is crazy good. What is it? 100 per kill.
It's 100
max.
It's 100. Yeah, once it's max.
And if you don't kill one person at a time. You kill. I've killed entire waves with that taunt.
And plus, once you get your damage up, you're pretty much just one-shotting things, all the little stuff, just instantly.
And it charges, instantly.
And so the pyro, you can level the life per kill up to 4 times. I think that's more than the other classes, right? I think it only goes up to 75 for the other classes, or am I wrong? Do you guys remember?
I think they're all the same. Yeah,
all
the same. It's 100.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I know the penetration, because the engineer gun can only penetrate once, and I think a lot of the other guns can penetrate up to 3 times, or maybe whatever.
Yeah, pyro doesn't have anything like that though.
All right, and then that sounds good. I think we covered everything for pyro. Oh, if first couple upgrades. What are the first couple upgrades a pyro should get?
First things I do is health on kill.
Same here, and then ammo.
Okay.
Health on kill, and then your ammo. Yeah, your ammo.
Your max ammo.
Okay, sounds good. Demo. Vulcan, did you try demo this game mode?
Yeah, I found myself kind of bored with them, like I am with demos in general. I'm not a big fan of the demo class, and it's still true for this. It's fun with stickies. Scottish Resistance is pretty fun, laying all those stickies around.
Yeah.
But you play it advanced, and you're going to get to the point where you're just out of ammo, and it really sucks early on, just constantly reloading your pipes and stickies. And then you have to choose which one of those you want to upgrade.
I see.
Vulcan, I suggest you try, which is what I usually play when I play demo. I go demo night. Demo night, dude.
I wanted to try.
Way. Because demo night has this little feature where so you get crits on kill. So if you kill somebody, you get crits. So you're basically just once you get that, I mean, and when I play demo, I just use the sword only, and just max out the sword, and pretty much all you're doing is just chopping stuff. It's just insane. Try that, you'll like it.
I definitely will.
Because you have your just like any other melee, you have your health on kill, which is 100 once you max it out, and then you have two that give you 4 seconds, or it should give you like 4 seconds of crits on kill. Well, once you get a crit, you're pretty much one-shotting anything anyway. So it's just a non-stop. So you're just sitting there and you up your attack speed. Your attack speed, max it out, and then whatever damage you can max it out. And you're just sitting there. It's just crazy. You just look like a crazy lunatic. You're just hacking. You're like just picture like you remember like Mario in Donkey Kong when he got the hammer. That's what it looks like. I mean, it just looks like that. You're just going as fast as you can, and you're just annihilating everything. I mean, even big bots, you're just killing as fast as you can.
That's funny.
Okay, so demo is more fun to play as
demo night,
as opposed to the traditional stickies and pipes.
Correct.
If you were gonna go stickies and pipes though, should you go Scottish Resistance or regular sticky? Should you stick to pipes? Anybody?
I've heard Scottish Resistance is pretty good since the amount of stickies that you can put out.
Yeah.
I have not tried it yet because usually when I play demo, I'm playing demo night because it's just so much more fun.
I like the Scottish Resistance, but
I think I like the Scottish Resistance too.
The problem is though, when I don't like about it is when things start breaking down, and I want to be able to shoot a sticky, turn my back, and see what's behind me. I'm talking when your team's screwed up and people are calling out where things are at, and I want to be able to see. And I don't know. I don't like that about the Scottish Resistance. You have to look at the sticky to detonate it.
I don't really like the delay in shooting it.
Yeah.
So, but
Well, if you
That's
want to
a
have fun with
personal preference.
yeah. If you want to play demo and have fun, go demo night with the Highlander. Is that the sword that you use?
Yeah, pretty much,
Okay.
because the other ones, well, you can use the
Isn't there one that gives you like max health on kill or something? I forget. You get stronger.
No, yeah, there's one that gives you max. Yeah, it gives you max heal. Of course, I like because when you get heads, you increase your health. So
yeah,
that's why I use that. You can also use the axe also because it does more damage.
Everybody likes head.
Yep. Amen. Okay, that's the demo. Let's talk heavy. Did either of you guys play Vulcan? You played heavy, right?
I played heavy.
Both of you guys?
Yeah, I played a lot of heavy. It was one of my favorites.
Why don't we start with Smoke this time?
Brass Beast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pretty much.
No doubt about it.
And so, is the heavy a tank, or is it a damage dealer, or is it kind of both? Or can you build it either way?
You can actually build it either way. Like, you can go health on kill and like build your resistances.
Yeah.
And if you have a medic, you can just sit in front lines and just take everything. And you can do that very easily. Or you can just sit. Usually, what the heavies that I've seen or when I play is I just sit next to the dispenser.
Yeah.
Just constantly unloading.
Yeah, and the way that's exactly how I played. I built to take damage, and your medic should be, buffing his what's it called? Overhaul heal.
Yeah.
And the heavy gets up to 750 HP fully buffed.
I thought it would be 900 but I guess it is 750. I guess I just read it wrong.
Which that in itself is insane. And then once you I maxed all my resistances except for Pyro, because that gun does so much damage a Pyro shouldn't even get close to you.
Exactly.
And I was sitting there challenging these big heavies. Like, I'd have my medic on me, and they'd have his medic. I'd get them to pop, have their Uber run out, and then kill him before he got close to me.
That's hilarious. Okay, so Brass Beast on the heavy, sit on a dispenser. What kind of upgrades should you be getting first? First couple upgrades.
It depends on how you want to play. If you want to go damage, then you'd go... The first ones, usually I go ammo.
Yeah.
Usually on that. Or health on kill. It depends on how you're playing, or if you got a medic or not, or but usually you can sit by a dispenser, just easy. But I would go ammo.
Okay.
Just to make sure that you have enough.
Vulcan?
Yeah, ammo for sure. You choose. I mean, if you're not near that dispenser, basically when the waves start, unless you guys are killing them so quick that they're not coming out in a stream, you light that gun up and it shouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Till the round's over. So it's an ammo big time.
Sounds good. Heavy engineer. Smoke. Why don't you start us off with engineer?
Engineer. My build that I usually use is, well, I say Wranglers is a must for every engineer.
Yeah, I would agree.
Wrangler, you have to. I mean, you don't have to, but you're handicapping yourself. Wrangler. Doesn't matter which wrench you use. As long as you use a wrench, no mini sentries. Let's see, and
mini sentries.
Like, don't use the one just mini sentries. That's stupid. Yeah. And then I use the Frontier Justice as my shotgun.
And why is that?
Because bot kills count as revenge crits. So basically, if you use that, then after each round, you blow up your gun, recreate it, and then you have 35 crits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to do with my engineer as well. And I actually tried to upgrade the gun because we were just rolling the waves, and so I was just messing around and upgraded the Frontier Justice a little bit. Extra attack speed, bigger clip size, all that jazz. And it's pretty fun doing 180.
You pretty much can light up a tank pretty quick. As I did that before too, where I didn't put anything in my gun. I just basically put it all in the Frontier Justice.
Exactly.
Just to mess around. And it's just crazy.
I mean, Wranglers, I would go to say it's a backbone. It's a must for if you're playing for serious, you need to have a Wrangler gun.
Especially on the harder difficulties.
Yeah, big time. They were one of the biggest, if not biggest, damage doer to big bots, but they're just a need.
And then no, sorry, go ahead, Vulcan.
I was just gonna say, Engie's a need in general. The dispenser keeps the heavy up, which keeps a lot of the team up. It's just he's just probably I think he's the most important in this mode.
It seems like it. He just gets so much.
Well, and it's a kind of a big challenge too. These spies, the spy bots, they go after him quite a bit.
Yeah,
he's got to fix his gun from maybe 20 rockets coming at it, and then on top of that, he's got a bot designed just to go after him.
Yep.
So it's not like sometimes in regular TF2 where you get a good spot and you just sit there and pick your nose while your gun gets kills. You actually gotta. It's a very active class in this game.
Completely agreed. I am very active when I play my engineer. What are the first couple upgrades you should be getting, Smoke, for the engineer?
First upgrade as engineer is melee speed increase.
And that sounds so weird, but why is that?
So you can repair your gun faster.
Yep. And it repairs really fast, and you rebuild fast also if you have to with that increased attack speed.
I haven't had a chance to play NG. What are the upgrades for his gun? Do you even upgrade the gun?
NG gun is they got health.
Yep. Increased attack speed.
Increased attack speed. Dispenser range increased, where you don't have to put the dispenser right next to you. You can actually put it farther away. It has a teleporter to where you go two-way teleporter, which is a waste of money. Don't ever buy it. Stupid.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And then they have another one where you can get a disposable sentry, which is a mini sentry, which I think is a waste too, because I'd much rather put it in my gun health or something else. Because if you have a maxed out gun health, you can wrangle it, and the sentry busters won't kill it.
Wait, what?
If you have a maxed out gun health and you wrangle it, when the sentry busters come up, it won't kill it.
Really?
That's a useful tip.
I did not know that, because I just try to kill the... Well, what I do, and, tell me if this is a bad tactic, but I play with public people. But anyway, when a sentry buster comes out, I actually pick up my turret and I walk up to it, and then I run away. Instead of trying to throw up the Wrangler shield with full health. And I do that also if we can't kill the sentry buster and it's gonna get to my turret, I just run right up to it and then I run away. And you can get rid of the sentry buster that way. But but I like your idea better, Smoke, of just putting up the Wrangler shield or just killing the sentry buster first.
Usually you can kill the sentry buster. If you have good teammates, you shouldn't have a problem with them.
Yeah. That's the one thing I loved about that pyro build we were talking about earlier is you run just a little bit slower than them if you increase your move speed as a pyro. And when I saw him come, I just trail this thing with my taunt on, and you usually get them before they even get anywhere close.
Yeah, usually whenever I play with that pyro build, I will taunt. I'll have one in the ready and taunt, and then by the time when it drops down, I'm just on it, and you kill it before it even gets halfway down it. Either that, or like I said, play scout, throw milk on it, and hit it with your fan of war, and that's pretty much it. It's done.
As an engineer, how do you defend against other big threats? Like when I play, I find that we've already mentioned the spy. The other thing we kind of touched on is when like 10 or 20 soldiers or demos drops from that cliff and they all fire rockets at you. And then the other thing is snipers actually sometimes get engineers. How do you deal with all of those threats in the game?
Snipers, hopefully, you can wrangle, and just kind of duck down, and you can kill the snipers. The soldiers, I pretty much just melee the crap out of my gun because you'll out heal the damage.
Hopefully,
if you have improved melee speed.
Like these are all the things that you pick up after you've been playing for a while. And I haven't played NG yet, but I have learned that one of the key things is if you're a ground guy, you better make sure that those don't go flying at their gun. And that's really like one of the side jobs that you can do to help your team, especially as a heavy. As a heavy, you should be the first one shot at. Right,
and I agree. Being an engineer, I agree because once those rockets start coming, then I can't wrangle anymore. I have to repair, and then we're not getting damage out, and it's just you're right. It's so much better if the damage gets soaked up in the front by the tanking classes instead of the engineer. How about spies? How do you take care of spies, Smoke?
Just like you do in regular TF2. Just burn them with a pyro, check your back. It's the same. Nothing's changed, except they do, the son of the bitches do face stab you a lot.
I saw that.
I hate those bitches, dude. They do it on purpose too. I know Valve just put it in there just as a joke, but they face stab the shit out of you.
Yes, they do. Like it's scary how much they do it. Like you don't even want to get stabbed. Period. Whether or not if you're I've been face stabbed in a door frame with me.
And it's kind of funny because I've spec'd the game before, just in spectator and watched the spies, and their cloak is constant. They don't have a meter. They don't have a meter. It's kind of cheating. They don't have the same rules. So they don't have any cloak noise or nothing. They can just come up right behind you.
And all of a sudden they're there.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I mean,
and the little bastards will taunt too after they kill you. Little motherfuckers.
Same with snipers.
Sons of bitches.
I know, they all the robots taunt after they kill you. You notice that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying, especially the snipers, because you almost always get body shotted by the snipers.
Yeah.
And then they wave at you like they just accomplished some feat.
I know, and the annoying thing is like there's 3 or 4 of them, so it's not like they shot you in the head; they just all shot you at once.
Auto-aim body shotters.
Yeah, exactly. Good times. Let's see what else. We touched on it, but just so it's clear for maybe new players, Smoke, could you really quickly go over like what the engineer should be doing, how they should be setting up their buildings, like where should you probably put your dispenser, where should you probably set up your sentry guns, really quickly?
Depending on the map, but most maps they have a central corridor. You're pretty much how I set it up. I set it far back and just wrangle down the way.
Yep.
You just constantly just keep it there. The only time you're moving or rebuilding is if stuff gets behind you and you need to move. And so if a bomb or a tank gets past you, either move your gun or blow it up. If you have a rebuild canteen, just go and put it down and do that, because there's no point in you staying in the front line protecting bots that don't matter.
Right.
If a bomb bot or a tank is behind you almost about to cap.
Exactly. And
or
then
explode.
And then for the dispenser, I was going to ask you, Smoke, but actually, why don't we hear it from Vulcan's side? Because Vulcan, you play a lot of classes that are up in the middle of things, right in the dog pile. Where do you prefer to have the dispenser as a tanking class or as a DPS class, right in the front?
Far enough back to where, I'm talking from the point of if you're still holding the original choke point.
Yeah.
And you want it far back to where if you need to go back there, it's not too far, but it's far enough to where you're not going to be the one getting shot at.
Right.
And it needs to be out of sight.
Right. Sounds good. What's the last thing I have? One thing I wrote down here is, and I think you mentioned this, Smoke, but for a lot of new players, if maybe they're not having a lot of success with the other non-engineer classes, a viable strategy might be to go all engineer with level 3 turrets and whatnot.
Usually you have to have at least one pyro or something to stop this sentry buster. But yeah, if you do it right, there's ways where you can pretty much just set up all engineers and just wrangle straight down, and you'll kill everything.
Maybe just have one money collector. But that's what I guess. What I'm
you have to have a money collector. That's what I mean. You have to have a pyro or a scout or something like that to, collect money. Because if you just all engineer, you won't ever get any money. You won't ever get any upgrades.
Right. I guess. Go ahead.
That's one of the good things about this game is the number. I mean, you could come up with 100 different ways to win around, and it's probably one of the things we should do sometime here. Smoke, on a weekend or something, we'll all get a 6-pack, sit down and see what kind of dumb strategy we can come up with that works.
All spies.
Yeah. There are some that probably wouldn't work too well or it'd be very difficult.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys should do it. All spies. Let's see what else. Engineer. I think that'll do it. Any last words for engineer? Not really.
Nope.
All right. Medic. Okay. How does the medic get played in this game, and what kind of upgrades do they have, and what should you do?
Medic gets played the same way it gets played in regular TF2. You heal, and you either have an Uber or crits. Do not use quick fix. It sucks. Do not use it in any game mode. But basically, key upgrades. Trying to think. It's they have
overheal?
one for overheal. They have one for Uber charge quicker.
Yep.
and they have the length of the Uber or crits gets lengthened.
Yeah.
They have one that's really, really good, which is share abilities. So basically, like, if you have a canteen, which I don't know if we haven't gone over it, but every class has a canteen.
Yeah.
And this canteen, you can buy little buffs, like you can buy an Uber or crits or get ammo. Inji has one where he basically can upgrade his stuff to level 3. So you have these little canteens that you get, which can be crafted with 4 scrap, or once you complete one round, it's an achievement, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Canteens are pretty important, actually.
They're very important. So the canteens, so if a medic has a crits canteen and the medic is healing whoever and uses that canteen, then whoever he's healing will get the crits.
The medic as well as the heal target?
Yeah, the heal target gets the crits.
Oh, just the heal target.
Well, either they both get it, but
okay.
You're pretty much hitting it for the heal target. So like if you go in and Uber in, and then you hit your crits, you get Uber and crits at the same time.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just bad. Like if you're healing a heavy and you hit your canteen to crits, well, that heavy's gonna start critting. So if you're running an Uber medic and you get a crits canteen, you basically can do both.
That's awesome.
And vice versa. Actually, you can buy Uber canteens too. Which, for any newer people out there that's struggling with the game, buy those. They're it's a free life. Yeah.
The Uber canteen.
Yeah. It's I mean.
Yeah.
Gives you 4 second invulnerability.
That's pretty good. Uber charge rate, Uber length, overheal, canteens. I think medic. That's pretty much it for medic, right? I mean,
yeah, pretty much. It's pretty standard.
And I prefer crits over the Uber.
Okay. When the tank, I had a question when I was playing medic. When the tank comes out, is it better to melee the tank, or should you just be healing to try to get crits again as a medic?
If you have crits, you're healing.
You're
healing.
You're not gonna. I mean, but if you have
regular Uber.
Yeah, if you just have regular Uber and it's just the tank, you just melee, or if you have a needle gun, just needle gun. You're just doing damage.
That's what I thought. All right, sounds good. Let's move on to sniper. I actually haven't played sniper, but I've seen a couple of people use Girardi and go melee crazy. Smoke, you played sniper?
Not really. That's one of the classes I need to do a round in, but basically it's from what it is basically the Girardi basically slows everything down. So it's really good to have that, and you can use the Sydney Sleeper also, which does that.
The mini crits, well as slow?
As well as slow, yes. It slows. Okay. Yeah, it slows down. That's why you want to use it, because you throw it on Sentry Buster or something like that. You'll get the mini crits and the slowing effect.
Right. And actually, when I played sniper, I wasn't really too sure what the sniper's role was, aside from the slowing that you just described, because when like hordes of robots come out, like what is a sniper supposed to do? Just do whatever little damage you can and leave the crowd clearing to the soldiers and the heavies?
You shoot them. I mean, it's just, you can get your gun to where it shoots pretty fast. I mean, to where you really actually do damage. Also, the was it the Hitman Seeker, or that the last sniper rifle that came out?
Yeah.
The one where basically builds up damage and then you're pretty much can just stay scoped up. That's actually a really good one too.
All right.
Because you can kind of just stay scoped up and just constantly shoot.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think sniper's kind of the lame duck of all of them.
Yeah, it is.
It's the class itself isn't designed for this type of gameplay. This is a shoot and fish in a barrel kind of game. If you can only hit one person, I watched who was it? Lord of the Land. He was using the Huntsman, and he got that thing out where he's shooting like Robin Hood. Arrows coming out every half a second.
I've had people play where they just upgraded the melee and the Girardi and just basically constantly doing just going and meleeing.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I think I was in that game with you when I saw that. Okay, so sniper, maybe not for this game mode. Let's move on to spy and talk a little bit about this guy, because he's got some interesting things going on with his sapper. He can actually sap the robots.
Sap the robots, and which will stun them. for a little while.
Yeah, I wouldn't have much to say about this. I haven't even seen a spy play.
I played Spy. It's all right. I mainly, whenever I was playing, I was pretty much just sapping and then just picking up, the money on the ground, because you can actually disguise as the robots.
And they won't shoot you.
They won't shoot you.
And so you're sapping the big. You're obviously sapping the big targets, right? Like
yeah, you're sapping the big targets.
When I saw you sap, I could swear that it was an AOE sap, but is it really just one target? Oh, it is. It is an AOE sap.
It'll sap either big targets one time, or if you have a lot of little ones, it'll sap a lot of them. It's like an AOE kind of thing.
Okay, all right. And then backstab knife action?
You have a penetration, a knife penetration, where you can build it up to where you can actually backstab the bigger bots to do more damage. You won't kill them in one shot like you will the smaller ones, but it still does more damage.
Valve tried to make the sniper and spy useful in this. I give them that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of useful, but in the higher, I would say in the more advanced, you're not going to play sniper or really spy. You better off just go and scout with the Mad Milk and it's just not really that useful.
So why don't we talk about the advanced mode for a little bit and the real core classes that you need for those higher difficulty levels? What would you say are the absolute classes you need for those advanced levels? I think we touched on it. Engineer. So maybe
one or two engineers. You can actually do.
Yeah, 1 or 2 engies.
And then
one for the most. And then I would say the other thing would be pyro would be another essential.
Pyro,
just for control.
Utility pyro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where this came bread and butter. I think I would sum it up as you need the NG, but then you're gonna need a way to heal, and you're gonna need a tank, and then you're gonna need splash damage. And so many classes can switch roles in that. But NG is really the absolute must. I mean, you could even get away without having a medic if you team consciously, health per kill kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Lack of crits though really hurts because that can be. Yeah, I think I killed.
But you can easily get crit canteens to take that.
True, that's very true.
And you should be saving the crits for the big targets.
For the big targets.
Yeah, but you really need an NG. I would run. And you need a money collector too. Actually, yeah. I'll throw that in there. And I really like the scout for that. But I like the pyro too because he's always where the money drops.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how tank, damage doers, money collectors, NG.
It'll change. You'll probably be playing. I mean, we've had it happen to where because basically once you upgrade a class, you can't get those points back.
Right.
Until if you like you go to the next wave and you're having trouble because we need 2 medics, so you have to just switch and you'll just get whatever upgrade points you got available, but that's it.
Right.
So sometimes you'll have to do that. I mean, but
in an uncoordinated team, right? You're talking about just like a regular lounge?
No, even in a coordinated team, sometimes you'll need to switch out if you need something, more DPS. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I could take you to a hard, or is it the Iron Man? You'll see the groups that are involved, and you're talking about 4 tanks. You have to kill 4 tanks in one wave.
So instead of the medic, you
might want to go. Yeah, you might want to switch it out to something more DPS. Because you're not really taking that much damage. Once you get higher up once you get more upgrades, the easier it gets to kind of stay alive.
I see.
Because you're either doing more damage or you can heal yourself. Sometimes medic isn't really that necessary.
I see.
I mean, I think it'd be more for the DPS for crits, but you can get crit canteens just the same.
Yeah, you can definitely roll without a medic in this.
Okay. Sounds good. I think that covers it for the main strategy portion of our TF2 MVM. Any last thoughts or strats you want to throw out there for new or veteran players? Any of you guys?
Use your mic. Use your mic. Mics are important.
And what are some of the things that they should be calling out, like spies?
Sentry busters coming in where the bomb is.
Yeah.
It really depends when it breaks down. When the first line of defense breaks down, you got bots
when the
running
shit
upstairs.
hits the fan.
Yeah, when shit hits the fan, that's where you need to have. eyes everywhere because the bots once they get past that first choke point, they can go. I mean, in advanced anyway. I don't know what it's like. I mean, they go up stairs, they go down.
Yeah,
you can have them running in 5 or 6 different spots.
And so actually, this is a really good segue into probably a good question. If the first line is penetrated and it does break down and shit hits the fan, what should people be doing? Like, how do you regroup from that? Like, what are priorities?
Well, your priority is depends on what's out there. If it's just a bomb and you don't have any tanks, then you want to basically if you have the ability to reset the bomb, which is either on some maps you can shoot them down mine shafts or make them have to go all the way back around.
Yeah.
In Iron Man mode, they actually have a timer on the bomb. So if you don't let them touch it, it'll actually reset by itself.
Oh wow, that's generous.
Yeah. So that's where it kind of comes in to where, you just got to control the bomb. If there's multiple tanks, you're pretty much just trying to get the whatever immediate. The key is, the real key is if stuff is behind you and you're trying to hold stuff that's behind your main choke point, your NGs need to move back.
Yeah,
don't stay up front. You got to say, hey, you need to move your stuff back.
And that's what I would say. My number one priority on any of that is get your engineer set up so you can create another choke. Right.
Yeah.
And that can be pretty difficult, surprisingly, in this.
Yeah, because there is no in spawn. There is no cabinet. There's no metal cabinet.
Right.
Yeah, I mean.
So there is metal around. You just got to know where it is. So that's another thing. Learn where all the big metals are, because especially if you're NG, you're gonna need them.
Yeah, especially if they break through that front line and you're suddenly defending at your base.
Yeah. Also, the bombs will only go where the blue arrows go. So before the match starts, there's going to be a path where only the bomb has to go. So you can set up your chokes where those bombs are going. So just in case. And if stuff goes the opposite way, like if scouts go the opposite way, don't worry about it. Just ignore them. They'll actually come all the way back around. So you can actually kill them on the other side.
All right, and you almost don't want to kill him behind. That's the number one reason why we've missed money. It's when shit breaks down and things are getting killed away from where the bomb needs to go.
Yeah.
Because you're in such a panic, you don't think about the money that's fallen. You're trying to win. You're trying to
survive.
You're trying to keep the bomb from getting there. And that's a big that bonus at the end. That stacks.
Yeah. I agree. It's important to get every single dollar because money is important for those upgrades, and you can't get past the later levels without some really key upgrades. And you're right, that extra bonus for getting everything is just so important. So, another pro tip for all the listeners out there. Anything else? I think that's it, right?
Pretty much it.
All right. So that's it for the MVM strats. Just have a couple of quick news announcements. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is coming out tomorrow, actually tonight at midnight, per this recording, but if you're listening to it, it's probably already Tuesday. So I'll be covering Counter-Strike with a lot of the guys from Team Player Gaming. Next week, we have a podcast on specific map strategy. I have a couple of the best callers from TPG joining us to talk about Dust 2. And how it's going to maybe be the same or different when Counter-Strike Global Offensive comes out. We're also going to cover other maps, hopefully, not next week, but in subsequent podcasts. We'll go over different maps because some of the maps have changed. There are a few minor changes to things like Train, Nuke, things like that. So we'll go over that. And Guild Wars 2 Early Access starts this weekend, so I'll be recording that as well.
I may join you for that, so
okay.
I'm still kind of on the fence.
No worries.
But I may actually join you since there's no monthly fee. There's not really any investment other than the initial game. So
right. Star Wars is becoming free to play as well. You guys ever played that?
I might try Counter-Strike. I'm so bad at Counter-Strike now.
You know what's funny is it's amazing to me that some of you guys that are really good at TF2 are average, or as you said, like you said, you don't consider yourselves great at Counter-Strike. and I know there's some TF2 players that are good at Counter-Strike as well, like Hocus Pocus is really good at Counter-Strike. He's got good aim. Pimp is good. Pimp. But like in my opinion, in my humble opinion, TF2, like being able to sticky jump and rocket jump and to just play TF2 at a competitive level is so much harder in certain ways than Counter-Strike, and I thought a lot of those things would translate over to Counter-Strike, but I guess it doesn't. I guess they are kind of two different games, because one's really more of a hit scan and Twitch type game, whereas, and I'm talking about Counter-Strike of course, but whereas TF2, you really are constantly working with your team and having really good teamwork, and you know, you're tracking the Uber, and I'm talking about competitive TF2, but and just I guess gameplay in general. But
the classes are so. I mean, Counter-Strike, there's one-hit weapons.
Exactly,
and that changes everything. And then there's TF2 comp has changed a lot over the years. When we played a few years ago, you basically had two soldiers demo, 2 scouts and a medic, and now it's some of the strats that these guys are running, and it's just like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike used to be so simple to me, and now I don't understand half the terminology of these guys when I get in there every once in a while. But now TF2 also has what is it? Smoke Highlander, right?
They have Highlander.
I love watching Highlander. I think Highlander is great.
That is hugely popular now, and that was almost non-existent. Like, they had one league for that back when I played, and now I think it's almost more popular.
They had one league, and it was in Europe, you know? That was it, you know?
The thing I like about Highlander is that it lets those other classes that you don't see in the traditional 6v6 actually come out and play in a league, in a competitive league. Like Spy, like you rarely see Spy, you almost never see Pyro.
And in Highlander, Spy is a game changer. I mean, it could change.
Yeah, it's huge.
You know, so
I've watched a couple of interests, and when he's not wearing he wears a FL tag or something. That's his Highlander team tag, and I've watched him make some things that turn the entire game around.
And that's what the Spy does.
And we do have quite a few Highlander teams that do play on our servers.
Yeah,
because we have Smile with who is he playing for? Playing for?
I can't remember.
Is he Soldier? I forget.
Smile. Yeah, there's a bunch of comp players that actually play on our servers. You'll see every once in a while.
But Attila, he's in Highlander, and he's a sniper, and when he catches on fire, pretty annoying to play against. Oh my goodness.
That's the other thing too. Like, I thought that, so going the other way, I thought a lot of Counter-Strike players that are really good with like the sniper rifles, like the AWP, would be really good at.
No, it's different.
Team Fortress, but it's different. It's so different.
Totally different
because the way that the models move in TF2 is so like. I mean, there are people jumping around in all kinds of directions, rocket jumping, demo, like sticky jumping. Like, there's no way a Counter-Strike player is going to be able to hit that same type of movement in TF2.
That's the difference between the game. Counter-Strike, you're going to shoot at people on the ground.
Exactly.
It's not vertical. TF2 is real vertical.
Yeah, that's what it is.
In fact, that kind of determines a lot of times who will kill who, and that's who can kill the guy in the air.
Exactly. And who we had a video. Who was it? Smile that did it? Like the 3 air rockets. Was Smile. Oh my! And that was on.
That was
Valve put it up. Yeah, Saxon Award got like what place did it get? It got nominated for sure.
It was like the one right below the winner. I mean, it was basically like second or third.
Was it you, Smoke, that he hit?
No, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me.
So for those of you listening, what happened was Smile hits a guy in the air with 3 rockets in a row and kills him.
He was Ubered. He juggled him while he was Ubered, and then the Uber wore off. He hit him so high that the medic lost it, and then hit him 2 more times to kill him. Or 3, it was 3.
Such epic stuff. So those of you that are unfamiliar with team player gaming, high level of skill, high level of talent, active comp players, ex-comp players, just very good teamwork all around.
Even non-comp players or anyone from that background, there's a lot of those good on this. Like Langrad and Smoke.
Yeah, I was going to say Smoke. Pubstar right here. That's actually like really good.
You can compete. You should play.
You should play Highlander, man.
I would love to play Highlander. We get a team together.
I'd love to play Highlander as well. I wanted to play Highlander when it came out, but
I'd like it too, just because you never have to pocket as a soldier on those.
yeah. Okay, let it be on record. I'm interested in Highlander. If anyone's interested in having me, so. But I don't know. There's a lot of new games coming out, like Global Offensive, Guild Wars 2, the new Battlefield expansions coming out next month.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Once Borderlands 2 comes out, I'm gonna be on that like white on rice, dude.
I pre-ordered it. I've got it already.
So Borderlands 2 is coming out. There's so many good games coming out this
It's going to be a ghost town on some of the servers.
Yeah, a little bit. I imagine so. So we will try to put up as much gaming footage as we can. You guys want to give any shout-outs to anybody, people from Clutch or Team Player Gaming, or any other news that maybe I didn't cover that's pretty important?
Nope. I don't know anybody.
No, I don't know. Shout out to Clutch. There we go. I'll give them guys a shout out.
Sounds good. Okay. Smoke and Vulcan are some of the best TF2 players that populate the Team Player Gaming servers. If you'd like to try to go against them, well, actually, I don't know if our servers. Do people play TF2 on our servers anymore?
Well, yeah, big time.
It depends.
Man versus machine right
Once
now.
this came out, it's kind of like taking the new shiny thing, you know.
The new shiny toy?
Yeah, it's the new shiny toy for sure. And it's real fun. I mean, if you play TF2, you really need to play it. But it will burn out. There's only unless they keep putting maps out. But I think it will get repetitive after a while.
All right. So at the time of this recording, if anyone would like to try their hand against Smoke or Vulcan or anyone at Team Player Gaming, now is probably the best chance to catch them populating the servers. Anyway, thank you so much for being on the show tonight, guys. Smoke and Vulcan.
Yeah, appreciate it. I've wanted to do one of these for a while.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And anyone else out there, especially any famous active comp players or ex-comp players, I'd love to have you on the show. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, that's it for tonight. We've been recording for too long. That's yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.
All right.